webinar of 2018. As you know, we go always for 4 major releases a year, which is part of our manifesto around Agile Marketing Automation Platform. And that is how we think we can better help our clients, you, marketeers, communication specialists, by providing a lot of feedback about what we're working on, the new stuff we're working on, and of course having those feedback. So maybe a quick word about myself and then we dive in directly. My name is Jonathan Weerman. I think a lot of you know me already. I act as an evangelist in the company, and my role is to provide the appropriate technology to marketeers and communication specialists so they can basically provide real customer experience to their customer. So most of this time I'm very focused of the customer, of my own customer, and I want that we talk personalization, of course, marketing automation, agile processes and everything. For feedback, jonathan.weerman@actito.com, you have my email, you have our website, you got your CSM, and if we never talked before, feel free to even give me a call on my mobile. I would be more than happy to discuss this further with you. So that was it for the intro. Today, 3 topics. First one is the Datamart Management. We did already do a short intro on that one in our full release. I will talk about Blenderio, which is an awesome partner we're working on. Don't be scared. GDPR is part of their core DNA as well. And we had a lot of demand coming from our lovely clients about marketing actions, and we will have a quick dive in this. I will quickly go in a PowerPoint so that you can see some screens, but those that know me know that I love to show what we're doing in the real, in the tool, and the idea is to have really an interactive session with you. Vero is next to me. She's catching all the questions. Sometimes I answer them directly. If it's a very longer explanation, I will take Q&As at the end. So you know. So let's dive. Datamart, data modeling, extension, Excel sheets, personalization. We will go deeper in that in a couple of minutes, but you see that we have documentation. You can ask us the documentation. Sometimes she's public, sometimes it's still internally, but we are open to share it with as much people. Blenderio, go to their website, follow them on LinkedIn, have a talk with Nico. This company is simply awesome, and I will show you what Nico prepared for us in a very short video, and I hope I will present well Blenderio, because I know that the marketeer people of Blender are also in this webinar session. And of course, marketing action, and this is the teaser for the marketing action, and I will finish with that one. Enough talking, let's jump into Actito. For those that never heard about Actito, Actito is a pure marketing automation platform. We really believe in the agile way of doing, and we are 100% SaaS. So that's really top line. So first thing, browser is enough, login, password, and we will enter my world of Actito. So I'm connecting. I'm streaming at the same time, so sometimes if I'm a bit slower, it's basically linked to the fact that I'm doing a lot at the same time. So first things, everything goes around a catalog for those that don't know it, but for this purpose, I will personalize my interface, which I highly recommend to all our customers to do as well. So I will need the managed profile to do some search in the database. I was going to talk about Datamart Studio, of course. That was the extension of a previous webinar you can find back also on our website. We will talk about extended data model with tables. Of course, all this wouldn't make a lot of sense if we couldn't use it in some targeting. After all, it's about identifying the right persons. And of course, the most advanced user out of you want to see this in action, maybe in an email campaigns. And of course, we're multi-channel, so we can use it in a lot of other channels as well. And I will do a quick teaser, and you see it already on Blenderio. And I will finish with our marketing action. So I basically just personalize my interface. First things first, if I go in the manage profile, this gives me access to the databases. And for the purpose of this webinar, I put 2 databases in it. The first one is a DemoDB, and this is most of the time how customers start. So what do I mean by customer start? Most of our clients come in with an Excel sheet. For the guys that know more about data, the problem of Excel sheet is what we call a flat data model. It's, you know, rows and lines in a single file, basically. allowing to do a certain level of personalization, but not really something crazy. You also see that we refresh a bit our interface based on your feedbacks again, and I will speak about myself. So I'm looking after Buurman Jonathan, me, and I will enter my profile. That is basically how a contact looks into Actito in a basic way. Some attributes, first name, last name, your mother language, some address information, and those kind of things. Of course, Actito is really focused on the segmentation, and segmentation can be, for example, if I'm a member of a loyalty program, is Jonathan a gold customer, a silver one? Those are all rules you can define by your own. You can find some documentation, of course, about that on our website as well. Everybody knows the most spooky word on earth for the moment is GDPR. So we will have a list of subscription. Those are the opt-ins by channel, the source, the resource. We keep track of the history about it, and we can really start playing with this in our forms, which we also presented in our previous webinar. And everything is about data, also produce data. So for example, everything you will be doing with Actito is tracked on a profile level so that marketeers can use it to go a step further into the communication. Until there, nothing new, quite flat model. And now I want to show you maybe another profile in a more extended way. And that is how our clients today are using our Datamart to extend their vision, to extend their understanding and personalizations possibilities with their client. So if I jump into my client database, and that is of course something I prepare up front, but I want to show you how it's working. I was looking for Alberta, and Alberta Fernandez is a lovely lady, and until there, those are the kind of information you just saw with our segment subscription interaction and everything, but you see a little new tab in it. That little new tab is making all the difference. What I mean by that is this was basic information, and now you see that I can go for extended information. For example, Alberta has a son called Jose Fernandez and doesn't have any animals. If I was working in the world of the flat data, I should have an Excel sheet with all those fields, and I would have child 1, child 2, child 3, and all the complexity to target those people, and of course to use that back into my engine to personalize my communication channel. Again, very broad. Actito does do email, but also SMS, paper, push notification, and tomorrow probably other channels as well. But so just to give you an idea, we're really talking here about Alberta, and Alberta will have extended data linked to Alberta through basically a key. And those linked data could be animals, could be children, could be a loyalty program, could be transactions, could be web behavior. This is something we can do with Initian 1, for example. So really try to think it in your own business and see how you could apply that to, again, empower your communication, your engagement with your customers. So that is what's really top line, the vision around the profile. And that shows the end of the story. Of course, I know, and I see I have a lot of my clients here that say, we love the Datamart Studio, or we would love to use it. How does it work? That is the first point I was showing you a couple of weeks ago, and that was basically the model showing you. You got your database with some shortcuts to some apps that everybody knows and that are most common to us, but it's a flat model where you can have your channels linked to it, and next to your challenge you will have all your flows, your marketing stories, the thing that make the difference, but you don't have any extensions. So this could be something you would do with MailChimp. Sad, we want to go further, and that's what we've done with our clients. Those are the extensions we can bring. And you see over here, I have about 7 tables. We can go much further than 7 tables. But which kind of information would you host? I was talking about the children and the animals, the abandoned cards. We can go to order lines. That is really the ticket lines and not the value of the ticket, but each product in a ticket, and use it to personalize the message. Lovely that you purchased product X or Y. It was awesome having you in store in Louvain-la-Neuve. Just try to imagine how you could use it for your own purpose. Of course, you know that we really focus ourselves on trying to have a user-friendly interface for non-techie marketeers, or not tech marketeers, but still that can understand the power of the data. So if I click on this little icon, I will be redirected to data extensions. We want to make it easy, and that is again where I need your feedback. What do you wish our team or product team over there built for you as extension of your models. What I mean by that is I click to create a table. We already defined some templates. Sales reps, offer an assignment. What are the next little icons you want to see? Fidelity program, I don't know, pets, kids, center park, stores. Tell us where we need to work so it brings value to you. I will show you what a reps table looks like based on a template. And just by selecting it, sorry, I clicked 2 times, and I click view. This is, for example, a rep table. I will have the last name, the first name, maybe a web page to their URL or the calendar lead, the phone number. You can just build those and populate them with our API, with import of CSV, with batch file, and you can even create rows manually directly into the interface. That is really the easy way, based on a template, to extend a profile database to a more rich model. Of course, and I see the guys connected in the webinar, and I see techie guys. Sorry for that I said non-technical. There is still options for you guys. We have created an advanced model, and an advanced model go as fast as this. Choose a file. We have the documentation. Send me an email. Ask your account. But basically, with the little JSON, and that is something looking like this. For the non-technical people, don't be scared. That is something that your IT can do very fast. And they will define all those columns you were seeing in my rep table, going from a name, a first name, an email address, a web page. Depending on your business, they will build this, load it in, and you can start interacting in a more personalized way and identifying, again, those people. So you see, pre-packed models, free models, just shoot what you need, and we will build that in the coming weeks. So now that I was talking about those tables, and I won't go too deep in it, and if you want some more in-depth session about all the possibilities we can offer through data modeling, feel free to ask me or your account again, or website. I don't know, we have a lot of communication ways. We would love to interact with you. Now that you see I was starting from that basic profile, Jonathan, then I took Alberta with our extended information. Now I'm going to show you that you will be able to use this in a targeting. Targeting is really a crucial part in your marketing automation because it's about identifying those people where you want to engage with. So how do we do that? We go in our targeting app, and we will, instead of just using the profile information, we will query those extended data as well. So I will create one on the fly with you. We will call it webinar EN. I'll link it not to my simple model, of course, but to my extended model. And here we go with the create. So let's say for him, let's imagine you want to just communicate to the girls. So sex is equal to woman. And now we will add a table. And you see I have a lot of tables because I am in demo environment. But if I add children, for example, that was that little extension we had. I will say, for example, I want all the people that have a child ID. The ID just means that the row is created. I could also say first name is known, for example. And you see that we have all those operators ready for you. And you can also make a direct calculation on what is the target audience I will communicate to. For this purpose, I get a single person. I can, of course, save this so that you can reuse it in a lot of modules in Actito, but it's not the purpose to show you it in all the modules. But so you see that I can query in an easy way on all this extension model. You can build by your own. You can ask us to build templates for you. Okay, how far can you go with the tables? It would be lovely, Ken, to have this discussion. I will Q&A. For the moment, the limit is 25 tables by default that we can load. But for so far, we go with clients. I think the biggest one is on 15 tables today, and depending again of the complexity of the tables. So I would be happy to go a bit deeper in the discussion, and I will hand over the microphone to you in a couple of seconds. The cart abandon, for example, is a reading of the Magento plugin that loads the table. We do that with other e-commerce as well, like WooCommerce. So depending of the use case you have, but maybe that we can keep it for the 5 last minutes. So I will just follow up if it's okay for you. So what I've done, I was showing you a basic profile and an extended model, how we build a table, how you use it to identify those people. Now I want to quickly use one channel to show you that it's effectively working and how you can use it into your communications flow. So I did prepare something quite fast. It's not a fancy email, but it shows you the power of what we're offering to our customers today. So first of all, because I know that a lot of my clients are still not using that, but I know that in a lot of companies, the people that are working on the selection about who we're sending in marketing action are not always the marketing managers, can be other profiles. So I could have done what we just did together, like using the profile module and everything. For our example this time, I will quickly grab my targeting, which we did prepare together, and I had the webinar again. And I know that I have one profile which can be linked to that specific targeting. It's also a way to update them continuously, which is also agile marketing automation, of course. So second step, once I identify the people, I want to use data into my personalization flow. For those that know Actito, we know that we can handle a lot of languages. Welcome Belgium, we have those complexity. It's part of our strong DNA. So I will jump to the English version, and I just prepare a basic email, with two variables in it. Variables are elements out of the database that you want to use to personalize, of course. Hi, first name would be Jonathan. And this is really the basic personalization you're seeing with all the emails client today. And now I want to use the child name. That is a more extended, and that would be much more difficult if we are just working in an Excel sheet. So you see that the drag and drop editor is the easy way of building your campaigns, and you just type in whatever you want. That is how today marketers want to work, or at least that's what I hear from them when they're discussing with us. So I prepare my targeting, I prepare my personalization level. Let's go to check and test. And in the check and test, of course, you will have a lot of profiles depending on your testing group. And if I take Alberta, which was the example, and I preview the email she would receive if I was sending, I will have an Actito, the best subject on earth. Hi, Alberta. And this is my first child first name. It was Jose. You remember? I was showing you in the data. It's there. I know you will have already the question about how do we tackle with more childs and everything. We can have conditions based on the amount of children you would have in the extended model, of course. Now, due to the short time period I have, I cannot show you everything, but you see the logics behind. And again, feel free to connect with us later on to go much more in depth based on your problematics or where you want to land with Actito. So that was really the first part, Datamart Studio, the engagement of the model. Now I want to quickly highlight Blenderio because I think this can really make the life of a lot of our clients much easier, because today, let's be honest, the API economy is something we are all working on. We have more and more tools, more and more complexity to integrate all those ones. And I will say take contact with Blenderio to develop that in a more extended way. Basically, really fast, Blenderio allows you to have multiple data sources. By just providing credentials, you will be able to connect those tools. And you see that Actito is already connected. I put some spreadsheet in it, my Google contacts, and there are a lot of other options already foreseen in it that will unify the data, and we can go more in depth. But you see that this Zapier is baby stuff versus Blenderio. Then you have, of course, those blends, and those are kind of templates. And I was talking about my template, about data structure. I could have a template that say, for each spreadsheet, push the data in Actito, and that is exactly what Nico highlighted in this very short video, so that you see that the stuff is really working. I just didn't do it real time, and I show you. So you see he has an Excel sheet with sales leads, which is the business of a lot of us today. That is basically my spreadsheet on my Google Docs, of course. You have an interface, an easy interface, let's be honest. I'm not a techie guy, I can use that, just a little training, some highlights. And what this Nico is doing there is just saying that he will, out of the Excel sheet of more than 1,000 contacts, upload 50 lines of that into Actito just by connecting the box. You see that the license is totally empty, and he's now going to run basically the blend. So we extracting the data of the Excel sheet, and we will start pushing the data. Just refresh, you see that it's real-time communication. This is where we want to go with Blender in a lot of other modules as well. but it shows you at least the power of the solution. And you see on the screen over here, Amazon, Basecamp, Bitly. It's just, let's do it. And again, don't be scared. Go on their website and they will talk about GDPR as well and how they can tackle it. And it's quite amazing how they do it. So I resume 2 topics today. The data extension, where you can work by your own with what you're doing today through our APIs. You can extend it with more sources through Blenderio. Now, of course, it's lovely, but at the end, that is really the data and the scientists, people behind it most of the time. Marketeers, they want to have marketing actions. And what could be a marketing action today? A marketing action, and that is the first step for us. So again, I think we are one of the only tool that requests so much feedback for our customers so that we are sure that what we develop is useful for you. So please do provide those feedback. You have my email, my phone number, my website, everything you need, just provide it to us. The first template we built, and you see how we think template based on the real business requirements, have a template called event management. Why? That is something we notice in every type of business, B2B, B2C, bank, retail, everybody want to do events. We are the first one that doing events. That is an event online. So we will eat our own dog food, and that's what we did. So I will show you basically how an event template is look like, and I want you to send me an email on which is the next template I need to ask my boss over there to build for us. So this is a total new interface, and I will just unsquish this because I did it for the Dutch part. So it's a template of an event. And what is an event? Basically, an event is an invitation email. You need to link a subscription form to that, confirmation email, some reminders, some satisfaction survey upfront, after, and of course you want to have this in a full automated scenario or workflow. You see that I have 4 emails in definition, so it means still jobs to do. I have 3 forms in definition as well, stims jobs to do. What I love about this interface, and this is really, you see it, a beta, it's the first shot. So if you want it, just shout and we will activate it into your license. My invitation email, I click on the edit campaign and boom, I'm going directly into the manage email campaigns, which you just saw a couple of minutes ago. And based on template, this is an invitation template. Nothing fancy, straightforward, it's doing the job. Of course, a breadcrumb will allow you to go up and front with all those assets you need to prepare, because that is where you're spending time today, in building the communication. And that is where you have value and where we cannot bring the value. The copy, the tone of voice, the engagement, it's your job. We need to prepare this. Let's imagine that my email was ready. It's like a checkbox. I can just highlight those elements and automatically I know that those jobs are done. Of course, I'm just highlighting. If I had done it, you would see those modifying over here as well. Now, I have all my assets ready, but we're talking marketing automation. This is not marketing automation. This is a manual job where I need to go in every element. Now, where start? The magic for us is once everything is ready, and that's also how you prepare your food in the evening when you're preparing the dinner. You need to prepare everything, and once everything is ready, you can start cooking. So we did prepare everything, and it is where the magic of cooking starts. You will have your targeting, which we just saw, and then the flow start. That is very flexible and you can adapt them like you want. But what I wanted to show with this is event can become something very efficient that doesn't need to have 20 days work to build a great event. This is a template which you will iterate on, that you will tweak based on your learnings, and you will automate your processes so that you can bring more value to your customer. So that was basically a quick introduction to what we're doing with our marketing actions. And I really hope that you will send us a lot of requests about which are the next step we should bring in those kind of apps. So I don't know what you're pinging, nothing, my bad. Sorry. So basically that was it. Data, Blenderio as a partner, first step in marketing action. That's my winter release. My other ones are following. 3 this year. What do we need to work on? And now I would like to have some extra questions. I will have a look over there. Not that I don't want to look at you, but I even don't see you. So I will ask Vero if I have some other questions. If no questions, that means probably that I have been super clear to you, and I hope it. If not, tell me that it was crappy as well, so I can basically do better the next time. And yeah, thank you for taking your lunchtime and listening to Jonathan and to what Actito has to offer to his prospect clients and basically to the world. So yeah, I will stay a few minutes and having a look over there. Okay, you don't see the questions, but I want to really say thank you to a lot of you that says that what we are building is what you need. And that is really the best feedback I can get. Now, keep challenging us so that we don't change our vision and that we know that our agile process with our 4 releases is something that brings you value. But the value can only be brought to you if you share with us your pains, your issues, and how we can basically help you. Technology, again, is just a medium to deliver awesome customer experience to your customer or to the customer of your customers. Thanks a lot for this. Catch up later. And yeah, you know how to connect with me. And I will say, I have always that lovely slide that says, thank you. See you later. I will stay a couple of minutes more. If there are some questions, feel free to shoot them whenever you want. Thank you. Bye-bye.